Hello, person. Welcome to this place.
Hello, person. Welcome to this place. You are now tuned into the sounds of...
It's Vision Radio, yes, I'm Dave Colombo Jenkins. As you already know, we've got an hour of amazing electronic music ahead of us, and this week is curated by a very, very, very special guest. I'm joined by Gyrofield. How are you doing?
Hello. I'm alright. Last weekend I've done the last Noisier Invites sort of show at a Simple in Groningen, which is a great fun.
Brilliant. And now you've picked the tracks that we're going to listen to throughout the hour, and we're going to do a really special interview on Vision Radio Extra on Patreon as well. So if you could introduce the very first track, it's on your new Vision EP, B. Tell us what we're about to listen to first.
So this track was one of the tracks written alongside the sort of release process for Stimulus, because I was really interested in hearing some new versions of the tracks on Stimulus after completing them. And this one's quite influenced by like early 140 and like deep medi stuff.
So yeah, that was the Lethargic mix of Calico, and now you've got something awesome here. Tell me about this one. I didn't know anything about Sage D, but I do know now that HUGORM, the name of the track, is Danish for Viper.
Yeah, so Sage D is someone I've known for a few years actually, as a member of Music Squad, and they've recently come out with a lot of exciting sort of like really accessible but really fun techno material. It's pretty much exactly the sort of stuff I'm looking for in my sets.
Go on. This is amazing. Big up Sage D. This is so bumpy. I love this. This is badass. So this is a dub now from yourself. Tell us all about this one, Gyrofield.
Yeah, so I've included some recent, up till January really, productions of my own, and this one is somewhere in between techno and breaks and dubstep. Reminds me a bit of the old WAP bleed techno sound, like Birmingham techno sound as well. I think it's, the UK's got a really good techno history of its own as well, and I wanted to sort of put this tune in there to talk about it.
Yeah, definitely. This is a really, really, really interesting reflection of UK techno. I love the title too, Pathos. Okay, right, we got something really, really interesting next. Time for some dual language hip hop now. Tell us all about this one, 1300 with Gantz.
So this track by 1300 is a track released by this imprint called Eastern Margins. They contacted me about 2 Novembers ago asking if I wanted to play a show with them, and I got to know the crew, I got to know the roster, and they're all, forward-thinking, sort of creative Asian people living in and outside of Asia.
Cool, yeah. And EK, the rapper on this, is like a Korean hip-hop royalty, as I understand as well. EK, who I was unaware of, completely ignorant of, but yeah, fascinating track. I'd like to talk more with you about kind of dual language hip-hop as well, really, and that fusion between territories that's happening at the moment. Well, we'll do that in the interview. I'll stop talking over this track.
겁은 먹기 전에 다시 목표를 생각해 동전을 셀 시간에 난 더 벌어 못하지 절대로 너네들처럼 노래를 내고 난 걱정을 덜어 영수증 내고 난 세금을 털어 Ain't no going back 낙장 뿌리 뺐어 take 옷 색깔은 black on black 1300 back to back to the basket 들어가 it's a no look 쉽게 난 막으니 go to 늘어나 밴드 이건 고무 넌 또 쓰러져 자꾸 네 복부 거진 내 덩치 옆에서 너는 그냥 멸치 우리도 갈 길이 멀지 그늘 꽉 묶은 뒤 뛰어난 번지 상대가 누구던 간에 난 정립해 더 상승 곡선 택선 주식처럼 몰라 1300 도면 됐어 Let it bang on and bang on and bang 우린 더 채워 너 check
Vibes. Right, so this now, what we've got coming in now is Noah ISLA. You're going to have to completely educate me here because we've got 2 tracks from Noah. Tell me more, because they're both beautiful.
Yeah, so they're a personal friend of mine from Poland, and in the past year and a half we've really connected over this sort of shared idea of analog and sampling based production brought into a very digital aesthetic. And yeah, I think he's done some really great tracks, even aside from these 2, and yeah, this is just a really nice vibe to sort of roll through.
Okay, we're about to have a bit of a switch now, so tell us all about Ben Prophet. This is a whole other side now.
Yeah, so Ben Prophet is an Irish-born techno producer, and he's based in Newcastle. And I was introduced to him by a mutual friend, and it's been really interesting to work with this sort of really rugged, but almost like grime-influenced techno.
Yeah.
He's definitely one leading a sort of a wave along with people like Skin on Skin.
Freaks around the world.
Go on, that's exfoliating stuff. Right, so now back onto Noah Island now. We're back onto the cool vibes as well. And once again, this is another really, really beautiful piece of music.
Yeah, once again, just really liminal in a way. It reminds me of early 2000s digital media, you know, the PlayStation and all of that. I would say these are influenced that Noah Isla definitely sort of uses to their advantage in these tracks. To me, it's really refreshing because it errs on the side of doing just enough.
Yeah. It doesn't try too hard or insist on anything there, really. It's a lot more gentle, isn't it? About to switch up the vibes next. Tell us all about your next selection, Kiana.
This one has been such a favourite of mine to play in sets, just because of how abstract it is and about how well it gels with a grime vocal, and obviously Riko Dan's one of the kingpins of it. Yeah, fascinating track. Back from 2018, I think, and it's just a bass line and a snare, and Riko Dan doing the business, really, isn't it? It is totally unique. It just hits on the system. Definitely, like.
Them boy have a death sentence. My gun them on a preference. Bad man me now wear red pants. Left them underground with the red ants. From Russia me gun them sent from. Kill the right hand man with the left hand. Any boy in your crew try this me, them man a dead man. Shot around your head like headband. Man wrong with the hammers no West Ham. Them man a either, them man a yes man. Them never squeeze man, never make tech bang. But for wall try ask me a question. Kick you right in your blood cloud fierce. Cause in your mouth my name nothing mention. food and munchy. We run the one of the country. We a kill boy with son of pumpy. Kill them boy with no response. Bust them head from a distance. Mumdance bringing the 4-5 spinner. I rob bust off a 6 pants. You a run off your mouth with a bag of chat. Me full up your down with cap a shot. When shot a slap, them a run like dog bout tap a tap. Which gunman? Them a ball out, so me get me gun from. Me a the water that me run London. Gun you down, me no care where you come from. Shot block up your skin like suntan.
Why, I've been looking forward to talking to you about this and announcing this track since I listened to all the tracks you sent over yesterday. So this is, I hope I pronounced it right, Lionel Loueke, who is from Benin, I believe, like a guitarist. And this here, he's been remixed by Gilles Peterson, and the whole album of his album and Gilles Peterson's remix collection are fascinating. I'd never heard them before until last night. I recommend anybody check them out, go on the track list. But how did they come into your life?
I was really interested in I guess, like dance music and jazz fusions. And I decided a while back to really go through Gilles Peterson's sort of record label and his discography as well. And this was just one of the tracks, well, one of the records that really stood out just because of how sort of mixable it is, but how much also a more traditional expression there was in there.
Yeah, definitely. I think the whole album is called HH. This is hang up versions, but yeah, do check it out. And check out the legacy of Gilles Peterson. Talking Loud especially is an incredibly influential label.
You got it?
Another dub from yourself now, Kiana. Tell us about Stranger Syndrome.
Also something quite new for me. It was written at just after New Year's. This track reflected on some feelings of, I guess, home, because I'd been visiting Hong Kong for the end of the year last year. Coming back, you know, it was strange. Not only just a jet lag, but also this feeling of like suddenly feeling much more comfortable in a place that you never thought you'd feel comfortable in.
Wow. I'd like to ask you more about that in our interview, really, and kind of, where you call home then, really, where you grew up or where you live creatively now, really. But it sounds like your heart is in Bristol at the moment.
Yeah, I'd say it has been for the past 3.5 years.
It's time to change the vibes again, and that is a stunning piece of music. I hope that sees the light of day and gets out into the world. So now tell us about your next selection. This is absolute vibes.
This is just a super fun, almost really just raunchy, I'd say.
Yeah.
Sort of party kind of tune. Sam Binga remixed by Enei, which is not the first time this has happened, but I'd say Enei really has a thing for this sort of style and vocal, definitely.
Yeah, Rider Shafique kills it every single time as well.
Me come fi dip the dick in her kitty. Keep your body clean, girl, you ever look pretty. Angle that mean ramp rough, no pity. When me slam it, I me ram it, marathon or cricket. She say me a the goat like Billy. Make she get wet, make the sitting get sticky. Body in her belly, make the girl act silly. When her body start calling, she a fi ball for me. Bamboo, say she want bamboo. Say she want slam me, she no want slam you. Come climb the tree, show me what you can do. Shampoo, body clean, come get the bamboo. Bamboo, say she want bamboo. Say she want slam me, she no want slam you. Come climb the tree, show me what you can do. Shampoo, body clean, come get.
Go on, vibes galore. Right, on to another dub. This is a very, very dub-heavy show. Tell us all about this dub from Alibi.
This one, I admit, I think I was a little bit of a skeptic on when I first got it. I played it out the first time, I think it was a show in Italy, and quite recently actually, and I just absolutely loved how sort of solid everything felt. Very techno influence, of course, which helps it along for me in getting it into my set list and all that. But yeah, just a really good, solid track that rolls and grooves and has great texture to it.
Yeah, it's a real creeper. I listened to it last night and then I listened to it again. Before you know it, you're inside the tune. But it's not obvious about it, I think. I love it. Wicked choice. Big up Alibi. Big shout to Alibi. Now, big shout to yourself, Kiana. This is my Yemach of the week. I don't know how often you listen to the show, but Yemach is basically Dutch for crikey. The type of tune that just blows me away, knocks me off my seat, makes me think, geez, I love doing this job. And this week, it's this particular track, because those horns, that jazz feeling, I did not expect this. This is just a whole other side to you. Tell us about Study 1704.
Yeah, so this was written on 17th of April last year. I think last year I've really opened myself up to a lot more just various styles and trying out things, you know, not only in sort of like almost jazzy constructions like this, but also writing really sample-based disco type tunes. And yeah, it's really interesting to delve into, I guess, a more sort of traditional way of recording and producing music, but using a totally different approach, using samples, and this is quite the same. Besides the drums, which I had to program myself.
Oh, brilliant. Cool. Yeah, well, amazing study, and I hope that you've achieved what you wanted to from it, and we hear more of this. right, it's another dub from yourself now, and this is a complete flip side, or one of the many other extremities of your musical palette that you draw upon. Tell us about Money for the Bleed.
I'd say this is sort of dark extension of sample-based stuff that I've been doing, and it's really, I'd say, influenced by industrial and EBM, but also some just experimental synth work, such as those on Lies Records. Yeah, it's just like sort of this dark chugging track that is sort of at this like sludgy pace.
Yeah, incredibly visceral. Love this. We're on a little bit of a kind of run of your own material now. This isn't a dub, but it's literally only just dropped. It's dropped on Metalheads, and I love. I mean, this is called Harsh Sun, but I really love the name of the whole EP. Really, the whole EP. Hold on, I've lost my notes in front of me. The glow of I can't.
It's a faint. It's a faint.
There we go. Like I hate my notes. They completely let me down. Frank's not going to let us record this again. Just tell me all about Harsh Sun. This is a beautiful tune.
Yeah, so this track is the result of a complete sort of rewrite, and I find it really interesting to work with a track that I guess is already there and has all its elements, but really needs rearranging. And I think that's what allowed me to access this sort of really atmospheric and spaced out sort of idea with almost main elements coming in before the drop even hits, and that I feel is a really interesting dynamic.
Yeah, like you're introducing parts of the tune which wouldn't normally be introduced to people at that stage of the rollout, like the arrangement in that way. Amazing. I think it takes a lot to rewrite a track completely as well. If you've written something and then to rewrite it completely because you know you spent so much time on it, you've got to kind of battle with your ego and the fact that you've spent so much time on it already, really, haven't you?
Yeah, I mean, it really is a push come to shove moment, and I think this track is all the better for it. Like, I've had some other tracks that have really deserved that rewrite, and I think it's also a sign of love to the music itself, like the musical content in there. You want to make it shine the most.
Yes, yeah, definitely. Okay, so right, I think Glow of Bravery is now shining on Man Like Current Value. So this is from like 2016, I think, isn't it? This is quite a while ago.
Yeah, but it was one of those tracks that just absolutely captured me just because of how sort of intense it was, but also with the atmosphere that kept the sort of calmness and evokes sort of, I don't know, just this dangerous sort of vibe and feeling to it really well. And yeah, it's lethal, I'd say.
Right, thank you, Current Value. Now on to another dub. Tell me all about Selfless from Submarine.
I was really, really impressed by Submarine's set at FORIA in Ghent, Belgium, where we both played an overview night with Star Wars as well. And yeah, not only was it great to finally play Star Wars, which has been a cultural sort of institution in Belgian drum and bass, but also it was really nice to hear sort of deep drum and bass represented in such a musical way from his DJ set. That was the first set I've ever seen of him, and I just thought it was really time for us to get on and make some music together. But first, here is a tune from him that's a bit more on the deep side, a bit more sort of obtuse, but I think it's really just beautiful and definitely a vibe that I want to channel.
Yeah, this is stunning. Shouts to Submarine. So it sounds like there could be a collaboration then between yourself and Submarine in the future.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I really hope so.
Amazing.
It's kind of hard to get into the flow of things of collabing because I'm not very familiar with that still.
Yeah, and I imagine every single collaboration is very, very different depending on each person and what their process is and what their schedule's like and how close you are to them and all of these many things. But here's somebody who you have collaborated in the past, and it's amazing. It's great to hear new music from them. Latesleeper, this is Bucket Kicker, and the vibe on this, the groove on this is just amazing.
Yeah, that was a great segue, by the way.
Thank you. Tell us all about this particular track, and just Latesleeper. Big up Latesleeper.
Yeah, of course she's still around. She's still writing tunes, but I think she just sort of prefers to keep a lower profile. And in the tracks that we've done, it's, you know, even though it's years ago, it was a really fun process working with her. And yeah, it's over the years we sort of diverged and converged into sort of like stylistic influences. And I'd say we're now at a point where we're really sort of feeling each other's work again, which is great, yeah.
Brilliant, brilliant.
It's the reload.
Okay. So we're just going to take a tiny break out of Gyrofield's amazing selection to big up that man like Posij, and of course Not Yes as well for the second week in a row. Their track Linchpin from the FLEXOUT Waves 2 collection, a collection of drum and bass artists, or largely drum and bass known artists, making kind of 140 and garage and dubsteppy type of stuff. It's an amazing album, and this is an amazing track. So big up yourself, Posij, big up Not Yes, and big up everybody who gets involved and votes and supports us on Patreon and on Discord and sends us music and engages with us in all those ways that people do in the modern age. We love you. Right, so back into dub country now. You are the mayor of dub country. Tell us about this particular dub of yours, Kiana.
This was, I think, just a really, I remember this track as a really sort of beautiful session of writing it, just because it was amazing to work with that sort of main vocal in the drop. In the pre-drop, and work with all these really sort of dubby, echoey synths, and bring it into this sort of, I guess, Caliber-esque sort of construction where it's very simple, very rugged. It's got a sort of like stiff groove to it, but I just, there's something about it that I really enjoy.
Yeah, definitely. Really, really captivating piece of music. I hope it sees the light of day and you've got a release plan for it. going to tap right into the source now. It doesn't get more authentic and more foundational than Drexciya, really, does it?
Oh, absolutely. And this track is one that I've played out once or twice. It's definitely an interesting one to play in the digital age, because this track sort of drifts in and out of the grid slightly, but is, to be able to play a Drexciya track, I think is a great sign of homage and respect to it. They were foundational, pioneering, as you said, in what they did. And, the ideas and tenets of Afrofuturism, of their story that they curated, I think is now more timely than ever.
Yeah, without a doubt, it feels more relevant than ever, for sure. And this is from an album called Neptune's Lair, which I would recommend anybody who's into electronic music listens to, and you will hear everything that we hear today, kind of 25 years later, echoing very loudly in your face and in your soul. This is kind of where it all begins, or where it's rooted. Wow, I think this is the first time we played Drexciya on Vision Radio. Certainly within my time of being a co-host on this show, I don't think we played it before, so thank you for bringing that. Brilliant. There's a penguin in the mix on the Zoom camera now as well. Awesome. Right, so tell us now about the next track, which is very vocal, so we're going to introduce it kind of now, really.
Yes, this is actually a cover of Britney Spears' Sometimes by Sega Bodega and Teddy 3. It was made in the lockdown, which now is such a far cry from our lives now, but it's really interesting to listen to this as sort of both a time capsule and also a celebration of what the song is originally. I've seen my tracks, actually. It's really good for samples. This sort of pack of acapella tracks for by Sega Bodega. They're really great.
Right, cool. I'll have to completely hold up my hand in my ignorance. I did not know this was a Britney Spears cover. In my notes, I've just put heart eyes emoji, beautiful vocal, need to know more. That's literally all that's in my notes, but I don't really know much about Britney Spears, but it makes it even better. I love cover versions, especially when they've got a really interesting twist like this. Thank you.
You tell me you're in love with me, like you can't take your pretty eyes away from me. It's not that I don't wanna stay, but every time you come too close I move away. I wanna believe in everything that you say, 'cause it sounds so good. But if you really want me, move slow. There's things about me you just have to know. Sometimes I run, sometimes I hide, sometimes I'm scared of you. But all I really want is to hold you tight, treat you right, be with you day and night. Baby, all I need is time. I don't wanna be so shy. Every time that I'm alone, I wonder why. I hope that you will wait for me. You say you're the only one for me. I wanna believe in everything that you say, 'cause it all I really want is to hold you tight, treat you right, be with you day and night. Baby, all I want is to hold you tight, treat you right, be with you day and night. All I need is time, just hang around and you'll see there's nowhere I'd rather be. If you love me, trust in me the way that I trust in you.
Stunning. And we're going to finish with another beautiful, breathtaking piece of music, which is very different from her normal material as well. So please tell us all about the finale tune. And thank you so much for this selection. It's been exceptional and unique. And once again, one of my favourite shows. I love co-hosting shows with different people and seeing what they bring. So tell us all about this, and thank you so much.
Yeah, first off, thank you for having me. It's been great to sort of run wild with all this different influences and really showcase a new sort of techno-centric set of influences in my work. This one is a white label, like vinyl only track on Inner Mind Recordings, and it's sort of cheesy in a way that really brings me back to my early work before I got picked up by drum and bass and all that. Definitely sort of hits a soft spot.
Brilliant. This is Eva 808 As You Left, and this has been Gyrofield co-hosting Vision Radio. Thank you again.
Yeah, of course. Thank you for having me.
Brilliant. And if you support us on Patreon, then you will be able to find an extensive interview between myself and Gyrofield over on there for Vision Radio Extra. Until next week, ciao ciao. Gyrofield, can I MC on your next set, please?
No, Dave.